Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, it's on?
Yep, it's on. This is going to be the most scuffed thing we've ever seen.
Yep.
We don't have a name for it yet,
And
so...
we're definitely not playing GTA.
We don't have a name for it, so...
This is definitely the most professional podcast you're ever going to listen to.
Exactly. If you have a suggestion for a name for this, write in the comments. But, welcome. How are you all feeling?
Pretty good.
I feel great.
He says while shooting people in the head. And you?
Pretty good. Nothing to say.
Yeah,
Really,
Robert?
Robert?
I'm in my element.
Robert, is there something special about today?
I believe there is.
Possibly.
Happy birthday, you smell like a shit. Now you can go around and act like a dick.
Yeah.
That is the best birthday wish I've got all day.
Exactly. So of course, with the first episode, we don't have a topic. My original idea for this podcast is I start with a topic and we do research.
He
But
was gonna say sports.
since
an idiot.
since it's the first episode, like we're not gonna have a topic. Why would you ever have a topic in the first episode?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, coming prepared. Like,
I have
we
to
don't
be
do that
close.
here.
Coming prepared. You don't do prepared here. But I am gonna keep it nice and chill. No screaming about Leviathan.
And this is a very family-friendly podcast.
Oh,
am I
fuck
right?
yeah. Fuck yeah, it's family friendly.
So, no cursing, no saying about Hitler or
Whoa, okay, that's not
N-word.
Nope. Okay, here we go. First subject. Are you guys bored of the books you read?
Very.
Yes.
You want to hear
Which
about?
books?
Do you want to hear a better story you can listen about?
Oh yeah, I wonder what that is. Not like we planned this or anything.
Not like we planned this. Long ago, there was a clan that saved the world from segregation. I don't even know where the story is going.
From slavery.
Yeah, slavery, but not quite everyone. I'm so confused. You see, okay.
We also saved the world threat, but we also abolished demi-human slavery.
Alright, so the main idea is you have your usual mythical world, whatever. Maybe Dungeons and Dragons-esque, maybe it's more Zelda-esque, maybe it's more whatever. Point is, there's no limit to it.
Okay.
So, yeah. You have your bad monarchy, which we've chosen the name of King Gress, and Gress is monarch. You have gods, too, because you can't have a good world without a god. What's the name of the god?
Numulus.
Exactly. And then you just have your storyline, and of course the fact about the storyline is there is none, or there's too many of them, I'd say. Right? Yeah.
Well, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. Which means you can also get some good recommendations for it. So far we have quite a few characters written out for it. You have the character. I've personally made a few characters. I have Marcel, which is my point of view of my main character. Of course, there isn't technically no main character. A little bit of spotty past for him. He doesn't really know where he came from. He's in a village, and he just is a regular 6'5" giant and regular human who does not know how to use his own powers because yeah. Who did you make?
I made a lot of things, but for my own characters, there's Necros, who is a fallen angel and a god killer, and he's pretty cool. And then there's also Finn, who's a young inventor boy.
Birthday boy. Who's your character you created that you completely forgot to add on to?
So I created a character named Romeo, who's apparently a prince, born into a very wealthy family. His dad, very royal king, very big bitch, basically.
Yeah.
He wants to have his son inside this whole royal family thing, and Romeo doesn't buy this. He wants to have his own life, separated from whatever his father is doing. He just wants to be independent. He doesn't want to rely on his lifestyle and what he is expected to be. He wants to be his own person. So he runs out at 16, changes his name to Raphael, and is starting a new life, new journeys outside of the castle.
Yeah. And of course, there is one common thread of all these stories. They will all end up into this group association. I don't really know what it is called yet. We'll call it the Rosecast. The Rosecast is a coalition of just every species of everything, all working together towards a common goal of true world peace, which hard thing to do in a world where it's not just a world, it's multiple dimensions. But it's just
Yeah.
it's more like trying to contain
Or there's
order.
motherfuckers called the Descendants of Destruction.
Yeah, I haven't even read up on that. Every day we just load up our little documents on what we've written about.
Every
and
day.
Well,
We're kind of slacking.
every
on
once in a
it.
while we
More like
open
once
up
a month.
and you see, oh, there's a whole 10 new storylines. Damn, I gotta incorporate this, or maybe not.
Yeah, we're working on it. We might cut a few things because there's a little too much.
Oh, that's
But
so much.
you know what? It's okay.
Write a whole novel.
You know, it's ours. It's not perfect, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if anyone has any ideas, though, I don't know if it'll be good. You can always add it in the comments and suggest.
Yeah, because people are gonna listen to this.
Yeah, 'cause people are gonna listen to this.
Yeah, if you actually listen to this, you're a legend.
Honestly, oh my god, who's the hell's gonna listen to this?
If you lasted this long, then hats off to you.
We're 5 minutes in, Robert. I'd expect someone to watch these last. No, you know what? Maybe I don't add. Okay. So.
Anyway, Wyvern 13. No, I'm joking. All right,
No.
so what do we want to talk about Rosecast?
Well, Rosecrest. Well, let's
Well,
go. Let's go into a little more depth with each character. Well, Robert went quite in depth with Raphael. So Mitchell, go into depth with Necros.
Okay, so Necros. So there is the Divine Order, which is an order of gods and angels, and then gods command angels. So Necros is the strongest in the angelic army, but so basically there's the demons, right? Right. Yeah, and then there's the demons, right? They've always been like considered evil and whatnot, and basically Necros fights one, but sees that they're an honorable man. They don't use their dirty tricks like the gods that brainwash them into thinking. So he befriends this demon. The demon gives him his pendant, and that's so Necros returns because he kills this demon in an epic battle, and then he wants to go back to his residence to go pay respect to his family, but the village that the demon resided in is destroyed by and then Necros checks the debris. He finds a symbol of the angelic order. So then he rushes back up to heaven and is angered by their actions, saying that it was unjust because Necros is an honorable man, even though he is very overpowered. So that happens, and then he basically gets in a fight with all the gods,
And specifically God.
Specifically Numulus, the god of all gods, and he kills every single one of them except for Numulus, as he leaves him alive, because he realizes that Numulus is the leader of the people, and he should be kept alive. But then Numulus backstabs him and shoots him with a ray of energy, leading Necros to fall from heaven into the mortal realm, where he becomes a fallen angel. And yeah, that's basically the advent of the God Killer.
Which means now Necros' quest is to get back to Numulus and beat his ass.
Get his revenge for the corruption, and also just kind of just fix his broken society. Yeah.
Which it's going to be slow because he also has to learn about how to survive now that he doesn't.
Yeah.
He has to build back all those powers he used to have. He kind of just got nerfed.
Yeah, I also have to work out how powerful he is on his moral realm. But yeah, we're figuring it out, so it's okay.
Yeah, because I'd hate for a reader to go, well, why did it have Necros do everything? Because he's just so overpowered.
Yeah, because that would just be real. Because he has to struggle somehow. Because the people in there are supposed to be stronger.
Character struggling makes character development. Character development makes an interesting character. Please.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What he said. Okay. Well, yeah. All right.
What about Finn?
Oh yeah. So Finn is a genius inventor boy from the enlightened civilization, which is kind of inspired by the Sheikah from Breath of the Wild. But we won't talk about that. I probably shouldn't have said that. But
Copyright.
anyway, he's really smart, but also not very well built. However, he has the power, as he is an artificial human, which is just hybrid, human hybrid between machine, boy. So I know that made no sense, but yeah, he's just part machine. So anyway, he has the rare power to manipulate the magnetic materials around him. He can create things basically just out of nowhere. So, but yeah, so basically he wants to protect his people from a rogue version of the enlightened civilization, which is the Exo people. And so there's two systems that they use, which is the hyper system and the the exosystem. So the hyper system is what the Enlightened use for their combat maneuvers and things like that, and then there's the exos, and they're all run by this one guy, Dr. Fang, who Finn wants to take out because he has terrorized people for ages, and now that he's finally beginning to learn how to use his power, he can,
He's just an evil
face
dude.
off. Yeah.
Just an evil dude. That's the main story.
It's also just very evil.
Everyone just got an evil dude. They
Yeah,
don't like.
Dr. Fang, when he goes to the grocery store, he doesn't donate to whatever cause they're asking for you to donate.
Oh,
he's just
God,
an evil
what
guy.
an asshole. What,
Yeah.
he does not return his shopping cart into the shopping cart area?
Yeah, obviously not.
Oh my God. Oh, if someone gives him extra change, does he not give it back to them?
Nope.
Oh my God. No, I think he's worse than all of them.
Yeah.
Also, that's one of the reasons why I like Romeo and Raphael's character. Although he is running from his father, he doesn't really have an actual bad guy. Some people could argue that he is his own bad guy because he's running away. Of course, it's not it. He just doesn't want to be free. And,
Yeah.
angsty teen, I don't want to
Right.
live with my parents, rules, right?
Right.
I don't
So-
think we're gonna make Dr. Fang complex. I think we just want him to be
Dr.
evil.
Fang's just evil, man. He's
Listening to Mitchell speak makes me realize how behind I am.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole story or anything.
It's okay, Robert. I'll help you later when the podcast is over. But, anywho, Michael, would you like to build on Marcel? I don't think
yes, the original, the first,
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, he
The
takes a lot of pride in
protagonist.
this character.
Do I though? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do,
Protagonist.
There is no protagonist.
shut up. It's an ensemble story.
Because of course, as I said, I think if you were to put this all into books, there'd be one main book called the Rosecast, and there'd be a bunch of prelude books for everyone's story.
Right.
For Marcel is very tied into the Rosecrest. Of course, I mean, the book is nowhere near out. If there was a book, if there were ever going to be a book, this is high spoiler time, but, I mean...
Who's gonna listen to it?
Who's going to listen to it?
Right.
So,
We just like talking.
years ago, when the world was formed of Valicia, there was two brothers. There was... I don't think I have the names down for them yet. There's just two brothers. One of them became the monarchy of Valicia, which is the land they live in. And the other one became the founder of the Rosecrest, which the only reason why he founded the Rosecrest was because his brother kind of backstabbed him. Actually, no, that kind of ties in. Mitchell, you remember that story once wrote a long time ago about these two brothers? One was...
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. We never had a name for it. I was thinking about using something from it because that would just make sense.
Which was kind of what we were using for founders.
Which is kind of what Finn was, because it was the weapon trinity.
Right, so that's kind of what I'm using for these two founders. So there's two brothers who just came to this new world.
Oh, wait,
to
a
start life
question.
together.
We're maintaining Buster armor for Gress, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would make sense. All right, I'd have to read this.
These two brothers came to this land to start something new, start a new world, start a new place for people to live. And, one of them gets greedy, the other one decides that's kind of screwed up, thanks a lot, guy, and he makes the Rosecrest. And both of these two, I mean, they're not shabby people who just like your backyard neighbor starting something. These are actually strong warriors. They can actually start something. Both of these two people are known as some of the strongest people of the lands. The Rosecrest founder and the leader of the monarch. Leader of the monarch becomes eventually today's present-day Gress through, having kids. And the founder dies eventually, but the Rosecrest has an ultimate goal of reviving him. And the way they revive him is through a catalyst. This catalyst grown in a lab, grown from a rose, is
that Amani's character?
not.
I thought she worked.
It's not Amber's character. It's Amber's mother.
Oh.
Who actually uses her own DNA, and the founder's DNA creates Marcel.
Right,
Actually it was named by Amber.
That was not clear.
Which actually technically that does also reveal that Amber and Marcel are technically half siblings because they share the same mother technically.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And later on, the doctor who created him just found it completely screwed up. You're creating a kid who is really just a catalyst for a soul to come into it, and he will end up dying. So instead, she breaks Marcel out and brings him to a village and technically abandons him there, but leaves it with people who decided to care for him. Later on down the line, around 10 years old, he has no clue how to use his power, because I don't think he was ever meant to use his power. He was just meant to be there, a person to bring the soul of the founder back to life. So why would he have any form of magical affinity? So instead, he just becomes a simple worker in the village, nothing special. Only thing is, this village is led by someone I called Lord Lester, who just loves abusing the shit out of this place, taxing it and all that crap, which also leads into like the corrupt monarchies that Gress formed and royalties.
Yeah.
And the one big thing about Marcel is one day he finds this demi-human running around. Demi-humans are half humans, half animal.
I think that's a lot of people know that.
Who-
That's a good answer.
I won't go into too much
Yeah.
depth yet about that character because maybe save for another episode. The
Yeah,
name is
when that person is here. 'Cause
maybe that
all the
person-
main Rosecast characters, they're based off people. So
They're based off people. Yeah. Not
either they write them or we write them for them. But
yeah, 'cause it's fun
'Cause
to
it's fun,
talk about your
yeah.
friends and escape the reality that we live in. I want to go outside without being scared of dying from a weird beer virus.
yeah,
Anyways,
Corona. Anywho, yeah.
Marcel finds this demi-human who first attacks him, but this is also where you learn that Marcel is known as a guardian class. He has insanely high defense where nothing really penetrates him.
Ooh, I'm joking.
Oh my god. The demi-human is obviously malnourished, and hasn't had the best life, and he becomes a home for the demi-human, and she lives with them. Her name's Emery, and for a while things seem alright until she learns about the yearly tax income place, where the Lord will come in and, burn, rape, kill, steal, tax the people.
Yeah, I don't know why you wrote that. That was very dark. But,
Oh yeah, it's gotta
it's
be
part
dark.
of the thing. Yeah.
You don't have a struggle, there's no point. Which Marcel always goes through it with a smile on his face. He doesn't care. Because as long as everyone cooperates, no one really dies. Not always. And you also have to hide Emery, because in this world, demi-humans are just toys, slaves. They like having her fun with things they think are less than humans. Which, for a village that brought Emery into as a family, they don't really want that to happen to her. So, of course, she could still hear and see what's happening from the shadows. One day she decides, around when they're 16, to break out and attack the Lord, which ultimately fails. But one thing is that Emery and Marcel have grown a very close bond, and it comes to a point where Marcel really only cares to keep Emery safe. So seeing that she goes out to attack Lester, and Lester basically swipes her off and nearly kills her like an asshole, the insides of Marcel goes crazy. I'm still confused of what I'm going to choose here. A soul kind of builds up inside to him, a little bit of a rage, and Marcel summons his first weapon for the first time, an axe. I'll get into that in a little bit in depth later, and completely murks the guy, destroys him, tears him to shreds. It's kind of scary to think the guy who seems like he would never hurt a fly kill someone. But the village understands why he did it, but also the village understands that he's gotta run now. He and Emery has to run. They gotta get out of here, because otherwise, they're gonna fucking die. So the village sends them off with some material, some money to get out of there. They don't know that later on the royal family sends the guards, and they completely burn down the village and kills them.
Wow, what an asshole.
Which I'm going to add in the story when they finally realize that.
Who's getting
See that
killed?
the whole village that raised Marcel and Emery got burned down, wiped,
what the
pillaged.
hell, man? I don't remember this being part of the story.
I added that in,
Oh, I guess I didn't read it.
but which all this stuff gives Emery and Marcel a
Guys,
drive.
we are very mentally stable.
It gives them a drive to really go against royalty and the monarch, because this is every day in Valicia. You have kings who think they can do whatever they want. You have lords who think they can tax and act like a god. It's just not right. So they go off on their own journey, growing, learning what
Corrupt
everything
gods,
happens.
corrupt system.
Yeah, corrupt gods, corrupt system, corrupt world, corrupt life. It's not that different in the real world.
That
It
is
isn't.
actual.
Facts!
Factual
Yeah.
information.
In terms of actual understanding of how things work, humans are the race that dominates Valicia. And every human has this thing known as magical affinity. They have the ability to have an elemental power and be able to summon their own weapon. One specific, a weapon that's it's a theme. Either if you can summon a sword, summon an axe, whatever it is. Usually it's about the same. Are you getting attacked by a dog? And you just learn how to use this weapon. It's your most powerful weapon. And of course, using that is like exercising, and you eventually get tired out and you can't use it forever. So I'm getting killed by a dog. Anyways, eventually you grow and learn to use this power, and it's a big part of a lot of these characters because they're humans. A lot of these characters are humans. Not, let's say, for example, Necros. Necros is a god. He's an angel. He starts out as an angel, which there's a whole war between
He's
angels.
a literal god killer. Yeah.
Between angels and demons and everyone else. Where,
Which, we get into more of the contrasting factions a bit more, but yeah.
But demons. I decided to put a twist. It's not a big twist. It's probably kind of cliche. Where angels are the assholes, demons are the good guys. But it's just lost in time and translation. So everyone thinks angels are powerful and they're the good guys, and demons are just the assholes who try to punish you. Which really is more of a judgment thing. It's more like the demon's job is to punish the damned, but not punish everyone for no reason.
Yeah, stereotyping demons.
See, you can't stereotype the demons, man. It's not right. It's not right.
Exactly.
The demons are actually a pretty civilized race, while angels are more blood warriors who want to have themselves be the top.
Well, I thought that was more of a brainwashing thing, but I guess we have to sit down and figure this out sometime. That would actually be a good that would be a good podcast idea.
A good
podcast.
Yeah, good.
We just figure stuff out.
Yeah, that's a good podcast idea. If only we were doing a podcast.
No, I meant that's like it for the next time.
True.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Well, next time we'll actually plot the stories and read them out and how they go.
We'll be a little more prepared.
Yeah,
Still
Robert
not
actually
prepared,
has to write
just a
shit.
little more.
Yeah, so someone's got to actually write his character. And of course,
Too much of a hassle.
we've been drawing some of the stuff, how it works.
I drew a lot of stuff.
There's some fan art.
Somebody drew a very nice thing.
Yeah, and I mean,
for somebody's birthday.
I mean, but also someone else also draws pretty well. Don't discredit yourself, man.
Yeah, I draw decently well.
This is writing these stories about characters.
I draw creatures. I'm not that great at humans, but
writing stories about characters who emanate us has been something we've done since third grade.
Yeah, Lone Wolf Kingdom.
A long time ago, we had
Clash Arenas.
Yeah, Clash Arenas, Lone Wolf Kingdom, stuff that.
What was Clash Arenas? I thought that was just your guys' thing.
Yeah,
into...
me and Robert had a little game we created based off of Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, because as a kid you want to have inspiration from every game you play because your games are so cool, but you want to do more in them. So we just took inspiration from those and we created a storyline. We created a way to play, and we'd be in a playground and be like, Robert, I'm getting killed. No, I got this Fable.
Yeah, that was kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Tri-Wizard.
Like right now it seems like cringe, but back then it was the fucking.
Back then that was great.
It was the bomb.
From Lone Wolf Kingdom to Infinity War.
We did crossover events with Lone Wolf Kingdom.
Yeah, we had a whole Subnautica adventure.
It was always just like something new, something fun. Whereas like if this is an actual game, if we actually had a brain to code, imagine that. I feel like we could actually turn this into an actual storyline. This is all trademark. You can't steal our ideas.
Yeah, please don't. I would be very upset.
I will sue with my $5 lawyer. But if taking the time and sat down and have an actual drive and not being distracted by video games like GTA, we'd actually be able to eventually write a concise story where you can actually play in this world. I don't know how. One day you would, maybe. Hopefully not. Any other characters and stuff you want to talk about? I don't want to talk about anyone that's not us and who don't technically reach their character.
Well, we can talk about stuff that we've made. Like, why don't you get into the elementals?
Oh yeah, well of course you have every.
We can give like a good in the story.
How about this? A good idea. So how you could create your own character in the Rosecast if you were to ever play the game. You could choose the different races. If it were to ever be a game, or if you ever wanted to make your own fan story on it, live in this world. Our rules is there is no rules. You can, as long as you don't be an asshole and be like, I'm God. You can't kill me.
Yeah, like, see, like, Necros, he is a god killer, but I made him balanced, or I'm going to balance him.
You really need to balance him.
I do need to balance him. I need to figure out how strong he is.
Come on, don't be like fucking Ep.7 making the incorrect characters overpowered.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if any of you guys have played like Ep.7, you know Straze. Like, if I just made Straze, like, or say, for example, Dragon Ball, if I made Beerus one of the Z fighters, that would just be stupid, because, Beerus is literally a god of destruction.
So, you have your human race. Like I said, you have your powers, you have your elemental powers, which choose your own element, really. Just don't be element of everything. You get to be a fire element.
Yeah, nobody's that strong. Not even Necros is that strong.
Yeah, you have
he's
water,
the strongest one.
Water, earth, ground, wind, whatever. I'm not even choosing like the 4 elements from Avatar or like the 8 types from Pokemon. Or you choose it, but you can't make it too overpowered. You choose an element. You can choose if you're human, you could choose a weapon you'd be able to summon. Make a story, make a struggle. You can't have a character who just lived la-di-da in whole life. They have to have an actual...
Oh yeah, speaking of that, I have to give Finn more of a conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we need to work on, but it's okay. It's a process. I trust the process.
It's a process. Eventually we do it. Eventually. One day, maybe.
Yeah,
no.
obviously.
Then there's also... You could be a demon who your whole thing is... Well, you
guys are misunderstood.
You're misunderstood. You punish the evil. You living in constant fear of angels because angels are just scary. Or you could be an angel. You're either an asshole who actually loves killing demons, or you're someone who realizes, like Necros,
like the impurities of the
the immoral side of being an angel. Or slowly we've been making more races. You have the enhanced humans, right?
Are there enhanced humans?
Not enhanced humans.
Oh, exohumans, yeah.
Exohumans. Explain that.
Oh yeah, well, I already did. The exohumans, well, I mean, anybody who really lives in the no, not artificial, what am I saying? Enlightened civilization has in some way or another is enhanced, but the exohumans is a more unstable version of the exo thing, which I'll get into a bit more. Maybe another time, or I'll get into later.
You know what we should actually do? We should have like dedicated episodes on our own where we just talk about our character or our arcs and crap.
Yeah. One day we'll go into the entirety of the enlightened.
Like the 30-minute execution.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover and there's a lot to tie.
Yeah, of course. Like this is just like we've just sat down.
This is like a draft.
You just sit down and be like, this would be cool. And you add this, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, I made a train. Whoa. And that's exactly the process it goes through. So yeah, you have the demons, you have the exohumans, you have the angels. You have fallen angels who are just angels who God says, I don't like you. And he kind of kicks you down a few notches. And either you go crazy wanting to be...
Yeah.
Either you go crazy wanting to go back to being an angel, or you think, it's fine, whatever. And you live amongst the regular people. Or, again, make your own story. I allow people to make their own race, too. A friend of ours decided to make a more, like, a spirited race. Where it's more like, I guess you could kind of say, like, fairy people? Not even, like, fairy people. Just, like, people who...
Spirits.
Yeah, spirits.
Some form of spirit.
Who live under another god known as Chocolade, which is actually the
god of a specific spirit realm.
It's a god of the spirit realm, which is scientific name for hummingbird. They, it, I don't know if I'm gendering gods here. They decide, they don't get into the whole fighting crap. It's more like, they want to understand existence and how it works. Which is another world, another dimension, whatever. There's no limits, because you also have the more medieval style of the Rosecast and King Grass. But then you also have technology and shit over with the exohumans and crap.
Yeah.
There's no limit to what you can do, and of course, you just write your own stories, and it's a freedom, it's a fun, and to be honest, I've been sleeping better at night knowing I have Rosecast because I'd usually just sit up and thinking like, yeah, this world would be so cool. We sound like fucking crackheads. I promise, we don't do drugs. Do you guys do drugs?
I don't do drugs.
Do you do drugs?
You don't know that.
You do cough drops.
Cough drops.
Talk to Bill Bunny.
Not even considered a drug.
Anywho, I mean, yeah, we know quite a few people that we don't like who do drugs.
Yeah, no.
Not to say that we're like bitches, but
like,
don't do drugs, please. That's very.
Well, more like.
let us not talk about drugs in our podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good point. Good point.
But an example of how cracked this shit can get, I wrote up a whole storyline for a train. Because why not?
Because trains.
Trains are cool. I'm gonna have an episode on that. Don't worry. Train.
You're a train fanboy.
Yes, a train fanboy. Okay, Mr. Soccer fanboy. And okay, Mr. Anime Titty fanboy.
Hey, that's not true.
Not entirely true.
It's
You like
half true.
you like other stuff, but not that many other stuff. There's anime titties, or anime ass, anime thighs, anime.
Everything anime.
It's different sometimes. No, okay, we'll stop
Wait,
talking about it.
I mean, speaking of anime, Rosecast could be an awesome fucking anime.
Yeah.
We explained how we could split into 3 seasons. You have season 1 where
Yeah, we already basically had like a season plan out, which is kind of just what happens when we think about these things.
you have your season
For
1,
context.
which is everyone explaining their backstory and becoming.
Yeah, and
Become
being
who they are.
joined, and then season 2 we said was going to be working as a team, like as Rosecrest.
I call that the Reformation arc because I think I'm going to make it where Rosecrest is run by old idiots who don't know how to run a crest anymore, and they kind of realign what they're really meant to stand for.
Yeah,
And then season 3 is the actual battle because
the final battle, because Ultima Superi, which we should probably save that for another. Actually,
yeah, no, we'll say that for another day. I don't want to get into too far how it goes, and just all the bad guys kind of team up, and when you have all the bad guys on one side, it's not.
So
not
Grass,
the best.
Grassfang, and Numulus.
They become.
We have a whole special thing for
They
that.
become big baddies. You know what? There's more powers I think of all the time, and of course you can always just say like, wait, isn't this just blank? Yeah, it is just blank. Relax. I'm having fun with this. Example: fusion. I wonder where that came from. Let's see: Dragon Ball, Steven Universe.
Yeah, not like the shield pushing was used before. No.
Yeah. Not like Marcel, for example. He doesn't. His main weapon isn't the axe. His main weapon is actually a shield. Well, there's way too much going to there for me to explain why he has multiple crap and a bunch of stuff. Why he can actually use powers when he originally wasn't supposed to. But his main thing is the shield, which I got a lot of inspiration from an anime called Rising of the Shield Hero. And if you ever watched it, you'd see a lot of the lineups. And another one of the powers I have a real interest in is fusion, where 2 people who truly can comprehend with each other and have the same mind ego wavelength can come together and form an even more powerful thing.
Yeah.
And fight. But of course, if one of them is actually a backstabbing traitor, instead of fusing, you just burn alive, and it's one of the most painful things we've ever seen. So, that fusion becomes interesting because, like, who can you really trust? And all that stuff.
Robert.
And we are back!
Sorry about that, yeah.
Someone's looking for their little monkey.
Little ad break.
Anyways. You have powers where you can fuse people together. You have... Do you have any special powers to talk about? You have the mechs and the exosuits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then Raphael hasn't done anything substantial to the story, or...
Well, he's the boy with the wind on his,
He's the boy with the wind on his gauntlet. Smart.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Talk about it. Raphael. His element.
Raphael's element is the wind element, obviously.
And what is his weapon?
Raphael uses gauntlets, which are basically just like gloves you put on your fist, but they have like special powers. Think of like Thanos and Infinity
the
Stones.
2 of them.
But like instead of using it for snapping and doing jazz, he uses it for punching people in the face.
Right.
And I think I want to have more of like a more.
Yeah, we really gotta stray away from having just like overpowered gods. I mean, the Descendants of Destruction are kind of that, but like no one's really like actively fighting them as of right now.
Yeah, that's more of
That's like a threat. That's like a threat. It's not really a bluff because people are threatening to unleash them, but
it's more like a storyline for the next storyline.
Yeah.
You never want your story to end. You always want people to come back for more and be like, wait, what happens here? Also, really brief fan art and crap. For the weapons that the humans use, I don't want it to be like you first use a weapon and you already have it all worked out. You still got to get more adjusted to it and learn how to use it more. For example, like Raphael's gauntlets, it's going to be like, he starts out with like just fucking literal ropes on his hand that he uses that can help him punch better. And eventually it's going to grow into whole fucking gauntlets that go down his arm, who can have like a fucking rocket thruster on the side that increases his punch or a mega big slap. Who knows? The whole point is that he grows and learns with his weapon and it more forms to how he needs to use it. Makes sense?
Makes very much sense.
Makes very much sense. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
we got a lot of stuff to develop, but we're getting there.
Like we could like with how Rosecast works, we could develop a new plot line on the spot. New plot line, go. Come on.
All right, so we make another overpowered god.
Oh no, not another overpowered god. Oh, we're going to ad breaks. See you guys later.
Cock piss balls. Fuck you.
As you can see, we have gotten tired and we ran out of ideas of what to add on for today's podcast. So please leave suggestions. We're bored.
Hey, if
Yeah,
anyone
after
listens
ad
to
break,
it,
we got a little
pick
bit
a
lazy,
Rosecast
you know?
thing that you want to go over, and any of us will go over it.
Or literally anything you want us to talk about,
Yeah.
please.
Please like and
Yeah,
subscribe,
like, if you want to talk about
everybody.
whether or not I
Oh,
like
God.
you, then I'll probably say a lot of really mean things about you, unless I actually do like you.
He probably doesn't. See ya.